Discovery Academy of Lake Alfred, do they have a principal?
Yes.
Do they have someone in a position over the principal but not a board member?
I believe that Carol Folks is not a board member per se, but she does sit on the board as a representative.
So in other words, another title would be superintendent of one school. Good thing for the taxpayers to know, this school is choosing to spend taxpayer money to pay for a superintendent of one school. Thank you.
Are we talking about them now, or are you gonna?
You gonna introduce them?
Do the next
Go
one.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. Discovery Academy of Lake Alfred, they have just completed a 9-year contract. It expires on June 30th. They opened in 2001. They have been a consistent school in school grades. They received only 1 C in the last 5 years in 2014. They are requesting a 15-year term. The statute does allow a renewing school to request 15 years when the school has received a grade of an A or a B in 3 of the past 4 years. I just wanted you to make that clear. Some contract specifics, and there really weren't a lot. There were very few changes, and they were all non-substantive. So they will continue to serve students in grades 6 through 8. They will currently reside where they always have been. They plan on implementing the sponsored student progression plan, which they have always done. And they also ensure that transportation is not a barrier to equal access. They do have 23 of their own school buses, and they do transport students from anywhere from 1.5 miles all the way to 23 miles out.
Any other questions? Mr. Townsend?
Help me on this, on the history. They're a conversion, right? They converted at some point back. Okay. That used to be our school. Okay. You know, last time we talked about them, you mentioned the 30 kids they had gotten rid of, and the 30 other that had voluntarily left.
Yes.
60 kids out of, you know, I don't know how many they have. I don't see any points in the contract addressing retention. That nothing, is it safe to say nothing's been added in that way?
Well, the contract, if you look at the contract on page 18, actually starting on page 17, the contract does outline what a school can specifically do as far as dismissal policies and procedures. It's L, it's at the bottom of page 17, and then it goes through page 18. It talks specifically about the school making parents aware of parent contracts, if there are parent contracts, and I actually requested their parent contract for this year. Also, whatever their behavior policy is and what their procedures are, and I requested that as well, so I thought maybe you would ask for it. They have it laid out for how students would go through a particular progress with a teacher a mentor. They have checkoff sheets that they're rated for how, you know, in each class, how they have behaved. So it's a quite rigorous. I'll give you a copy of it so that you can look at it before over the next few weeks. But we felt confident that with those 2 things in place, that how it's going forward. I mean, it's according to what, you know, statute allows them to do in dismissing students, and the language that's in the contract and also in statute, that they're not doing anything outside of what they are allowed to do per statute.
So it's your opinion as our charter person that getting rid of 60 kids is completely legal.
Well, no, that's not my opinion at all.
There's nothing that they're doing that we could challenge.
I did do some deep diving into each one of, not the 60, but the 36 students who were dismissed, to find out where they are currently and how they're doing. Are you interested in that information?
Well, yeah, I'm interested in that, but I'm more interested in, you know, I was again speaking to the head of DOE's choice today specifically about discovery. Actually, was trying to get a sense of if this meets the state's intent.
Yeah, if the school engages in conduct that is discriminatory in nature, if they engage in conduct that is illegal in nature, we can absolutely crack down on that. We do have that oversight capability. We would have to show it.
What's showing it mean? Like, what's is there a racial pattern to the kids that are being?
No. And I can get you the percents because I ran it all.
It'd be interesting.
And
if that is
discrimination
what we
takes
can
in a
call
whole
it.
lot more territory
I
than
was,
that.
I was just asking.
So,
And-
yeah.
Not.
Yeah, if it appears that they are discriminating against people based on disability, that is absolutely actionable. That is absolutely something that we can come down on like a box of rocks.
Mhm.
I do have a letter from the principal addressing your concerns from the last board meeting as well, so I have that available to you. 5 of those 36 students have returned to Discovery and are doing very well. I know it's only 5, but
Ms. Cunningham?
Okay, going back to the top area where it says, shall be granted to a charter school that has received a school grade of A or B, blah, 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 pursuant to, in 3 of the past 4 years. So, we have 3 Bs, but the year before that was a C. So my question is, I know they're asking for a 15-year, based on the additional information that we may receive, would it be an option to provide a renewal, but not for 15 years, for a time period less than that, until some of this stuff can get cleaned up? So there is that provision to go less than 15, but still renew.
absolutely.
What options do we have? I mean, from 5 to 15?
This is also May 15th.
Pardon?
This is
Yes,
also
May
May 15th.
15th, yes.
Yeah, May 15th, yes.
It can be 5,
5,
10,
10,
and this one was
anything.
9.
Okay,
I don't-
okay,
So the board has.
Just curious.
They can
The
set
board
the
has-
term of that.
okay.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Sellers?
They're not many of the charters ask for the 15 years because they want to build and get loans and they
Right.
need it. But
They don't.
there is
They don't.
none,
Nothing
their
here.
conversion, it's our building,
Mhm.
and they're not planning on,
No.
so there's no need for the 15 year.
Yeah, it's not for expanding and trying to get finance.
Ms. Reynolds?
What is, or do you have a recommendation on this one already for us, or?
This one doesn't
you're-
come until the 15th.
Okay, so we won't have a recommendation on it until,
Right, that's correct. Mr. Wilson?
So the contract says the school may not withdraw a student involuntarily for poor academic performance or for a minor infraction of the school's code of conduct. The school will ensure that no pressure, coercion, negotiation, or other inappropriate inducement may be used to attempt to have parents, guardians withdraw students from the school. It seems to me that the most appropriate avenue for some sort of repercussion would come from parents and students complaining. And have we had that? Has that occurred?
No, and I actually have a copy too of their due process. So if a child is dismissed because they've not been able to be successful on their behavior plan, they call it the relationship plan. It's in the faculty handbook and it talks about student mentors and that type of thing. Then there's a document that is provided to parents in the student handbook about due process and how they go through that in order to ask for the child to remain at the school.
I mean, I have concerns, like everyone else, about the number of students that are leaving for whatever reason, but, you know, if we're not hearing complaints from parents, there could be a lot of reasons for that happening, I'm assuming.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Melissa. Let's take a 10-minute break and
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
resume at 2 o'clock.
Thank you.